Hi, I just want to give you a quick tutorial on using essential oils topically on the skin. There are a couple safety concerns, so that's a good thing to go over and review once in a while. Now, when we're using essential oils for the skin, I am automatically going to assume you are choosing a quality oil for that. If you have something from a big box store where you're not sure if there's anything synthetic within it, don't use that topically on your skin. Your body absorbs everything you put on it, so we want to make sure that only quality oils are used. Now, for everybody across the board, the safest is always dilution, diluting the oil. And what that means is you're combining the essential oil, which is a distillation of the plant. There are these little tiny oil sacs within the plant. It might be in the leaf or the root or the bark. That's what gets distilled into an essential oil, which is different from a carrier oil. That's an oil that carries it into the body, so to speak. And that's what more of what we would think of as a traditional oil, like olive oil or almond oil or coconut oil. Those are all carrier oils. So diluting is just simply combining the essential oil with a certain amount of carrier oil. Now, in reference books, I have here my favorite one, which is the Modern Essentials book. And all the reference books will tell you what to do with the oil as far as using it topically. They'll refer to neat, which is using the oil straight on the skin without any carrier oil. And you want to know both your skin sensitivity level and the actual oil itself, the plant itself, if it's okay to do that. And so the options are neat, sensitive skin, so little babies, possibly elderly skin, or any kind of skin sensitivities, you would want to be diluting. And then there are some oils in here that always get diluted, no matter what. Just don't even go there putting them directly on your skin. Thyme, oregano, cinnamon, those would be some of the ones that shouldn't ever be put directly on the skin. And trust me, I have been there. What happens is you'll get an irritation. And so, for example, once I did not dilute thyme well enough when I was putting it on my throat, and I ended up with redness right all along my throat. If that should happen, then what you do is wash it off with soap and water. If it's still a little uncomfortable, burny, stingy, then put just plain lotion or a plain carrier oil on it, like coconut oil, and soothe that, which is what I did, and it was soothed within minutes. But when they say that, don't mess around with that. Really take that to heart. So I'll show you in here. So they've got the different designations for when you should dilute or not. And then the oils themselves will have the codes of the color coded for what you can do with that. So for example, here's another one, cardamom, and you see on the hand, it's a pink, which means to dilute. It's kind of funny to show you the book here, but see, it'll mean to dilute. And now, if you don't want to take the time to look it up and see, does this one get diluted or not? Again, the safest is always dilute. It just makes it easy and you don't even need to worry about it then. The other thing to know about topically is photosensitivity. And that's where certain oils, if you put them on and then go into the sun, they might also start skin irritations. So as well, also respect that. So if the oil says that it's sensitive for sunlight or photosensitive, or has a little code, like a little the sunlight with the little sun rays on it, that would be a code for don't use this directly in the sun. So what you can do is heavily dilute it, which means a lot of carrier oil, or put it in areas where you don't see the sun. So underneath your clothing, on hidden areas, that would be okay too. And those usually are referred to on the bottle. So I'm looking, I've got a bottle here of Balance, and this one's okay for the sun. The because there's no sun warning on it. So usually they will have that. But if not, there are lots of lists online. You can easily Google sun-sensitive oils. So those are really the main two concerns, is having them diluted properly and watching out for the ones with the sun. And those usually are most of the citruses. So lemon, tangerine, bergamot especially is one of the most sun irritating ones. And so just use those either heavily diluted or underneath clothing where it won't see sunlight. Now, for a quick and easy way to dilute when I'm rubbing something on, in this method, I would say use this when you know the oil and how your body is with the oil. And so you can try a small spot first. But what I have here is fractionated coconut oil as my carrier. And I have a little bit of Balance blend, which is a grounding blend, a relaxation blend. And so what you can do is simply put a drop and go slow, tilt it slowly. Put one drop in your palm, and there's one drop of Balance, and then 1 to 3 drops of their carrier oil. So the more you put of the carrier oil, the more diluted it is. And then rub together. Now it's diluted. I'll rub this on the back of my neck, just kind of get that wafting for a grounding moment. So you can use it topically like that. And the other way to use it topically is to create, let me wipe my hands a little bit so they're not oily, is to create a roller bottle. Now this is a 10 ml roller bottle, and then they have 5 ml and even smaller than that for sample sizes. But they all pretty much work the same. I have here what's called a key, K-E-Y, a key that helps you pop off the tops. You don't have to have this, but it sure makes it easy so you're not using things like knives and such that can cut you. So you just pop the top off, and then you would put the oil in, and again, tilt it very carefully. Then once you get the number of essential oil drops that you want, fill the remainder with your carrier oil. Fill that all the way up to the top, or I call it the shoulder of the bottle, right about to there. Then to put your cap back on, use the inner circles and just push, and then it's back on. And then that, I would use this method for definitely things that I want to use long term. So they're more heavily diluted. I'm not worried about skin sensitivity with it, or for just easy application. You know, it's much easier for working, say, with acupressure points to simply roll right on a spot, then get it all over your hands and try to get that in. So both methods work perfectly well. It's just more personal preference. Now for number of drops in a roller like this, so in a 10 ml roller, if you want, the highest dilution would be about a 10% dilution, and that would be 20 drops of your oil, your essential oil within that. 20 drops will only come to, say, maybe about there. It doesn't look like much, but you have to remember essential oils are potent, very potent. A little goes a long way. We are such a culture of more and more and more. More is better. More is better. And that is not the case with essential oils. So respect their potency. A little goes a long way. So to give you an example, for peppermint, the amount of peppermint leaves used for a drop of the peppermint oil is about the equivalent of 28 cups of peppermint tea. That is a lot of potency within that. So a little goes a long way. Now, so back to drops. In here for a 10% dilution, which is a pretty high dilution, that would be more acute, or you know your skin sensitivity level is okay to handle that. That would be 20 drops. Now that could go all the way down to a 1 to 3% dilution. A 3% dilution would be 6 drops of the essential oil within here, and then fill the rest with the carrier oil. Again, 6 drops does not sound like much, but it'll be effective, it will work. Remember, they're potent, so a little goes a long way, and diluting it is the safest.